What's going on, everybody? Beveragy here. You know what we're here for. We're here for 5 Sauce 5. It's finally here. I would ask you all how you're doing this evening or today or whenever you decided to stumble across this video. But I have a pretty good feeling you're doing pretty damn great because 5 Sauce 5 has blessed us. We're all blessed. We've all been anticipating this for a while now. I have gotten to know these boys just over the course of since I started this channel. Really, I got into them and they have become one of my absolute top most listened to artists since I've gotten to know them. And I mean, if you've been here before, you know just how much I adore these boys. You know that When Facing the Things We Turn Away From was my absolute favorite album that came out last year, and I still just on a daily basis obsess over the fact that that album even exists, along with the projects from 5 Sauce that I've just enjoyed so much. You guys know, Calm, Young Blood, Sounds Good, Feels Good, albums that continue to be in daily rotation for me. I was watching an interview that the boys did recently speaking about the album, and I believe it was Ashton who said something along the lines of this album is the most that they feel spiritually tied to, where we're gonna feel that coming from them, and that if from the first from Complete Mess and Take My Hand, it's so evident that that's the case. So that didn't surprise me so much, but particularly hearing him say, like, especially in comparison to the other albums, which I already love, just is such an exciting thing to hear and anticipate here as we jump into this album. All of that obviously having much to do with them doing the writing and the producing on this album. I waited for the singles that they released. That there was Me, Myself, and I, then there was Older, and then there's Blender. I haven't heard any of those songs. I was waiting for this video, waiting for this sit down, and I'm so fascinated for Older because of the Sierra Deaton feature. I cannot believe there is an actual official feature on a 5 Sauce album. That makes me so excited. And the fact that it's Sierra is additionally exciting. So yeah, all that being said, guys, I say we jump into this. As always, the full, completely uncut version of my reaction to this album is on my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. There's a bunch of other 5 Sauce exclusive videos that I've also done on the Patreon that I did quite a while ago. I did cocktail chats a while ago. There's a bunch of other stuff in there that I've also done if you want to check that out, and obviously as well the full album reaction. So let's jump in, guys. 19 tracks of just bliss. I'm not gonna do the first song because, like I mentioned, we do have so many songs here, and I've heard Complete Mess came out a bit ago. I've heard it so many times, and I also did a video for that, did a reaction for that. So if you want to check that out, that does exist on my YouTube, I believe. So we're gonna start with Easy For You To Say. I am gonna do Take My Hand because it says Joshua Tree version. I don't even know what that means. I know they recorded the album in Joshua Tree, so I'm guessing we're gonna get like a more intimate version of that track. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, let's do this, guys. Also, I was at this my hoodie here, as you can see, is a 5 Sauce tour hoodie. I was at the concert, unfortunately, where Ashton where I had to be cut short due to Ashton having a medical issue. It was so hot. It was so hot. And I met a couple of you there. So if you're watching this and I met you, hello again. I'm just glad Ashton is okay now, obviously, and that we're here for good and better times. But yeah, just a little footnote on what is a very celebratory day. Let's jump into this, guys. Easy for you to say. Is it easier to stay? Is it easier to go? Okay, let's do it. Track 2.
I see it in moments, it's coming in waves. A sunrise in Sydney that's burning for days. But I'm headstrong and stubborn and stuck in.
It already, I'm going to start it over because it threw me off because it already reminds me of Take My Hand a little bit.
Easy for you.
Oh my god. yes. This nostalgia in my phone. It's such a smart. That's such a genius way to talk about struggling with change, adapting, just evolving as a human being. This nostalgia in my bones because of obviously like the person you've been for so long. It's so fascinating. And then not to mention that they plug that into a song that already has the consistency of the same feel that I felt from the couple of singles I've heard from the album, and it just feels good. Like it's this out of body feeling that this album gives me, which is why I love the album cover, by the way, because it feels like an out of body situation. What a start. And this fall's Complete Mess, which is already such a huge banger. Production is so smooth. It's such an easy listen. You hear the drums against the guitar there. What a way to such a good start. And it's got this drive through the mountains feel as well, which I love. I love finding me a drive through the mountain song. Okay, let's go to Bad Omens, track 3. Hold on a second. When those vocals all come in and they start singing together, I died because you love somebody or something he says here, but then they all come in. Hold on. When they all come in. This is a painful situation, and they keep revisiting. Like at the beginning, they're driving through the valley. So imagine this is a relationship that took place particularly in the valley, or that's where they're driving through to get to this person anyway. And they're just going back for more pain. They just are going back for more pain, despite the fact that they see these bad omens that, like they know they should probably. I guess nip that pain in the bud however you can, but they just keep putting themselves back in the situation. But aside from all that, I love the vocals on this album are so good already. I love this pre-chorus, then all the vocals come in and it sounds so good. They've gone through so much evolution, right? Like from album to album to album, and Calm feels like, because reflecting back on Calm after hearing what I'm hearing here, it feels like there's more. I don't want to call them risks. Like that's what I have in my mind. Like they're musical risks, but they're probably not even risks to the guys. They're probably just the music that they've wanted to make. In the moment that they made it, obviously sitting in Joshua Tree for that month, and just making music and not worrying about anything else in the world, especially like post pandemic 2020 and after the solo projects as well. So yeah, I don't want to use the term risks because they probably don't feel that way, but it's not as structured. Like Calm, even though it's a departure from their previous sounds, their previous albums, there still is so much structure in Calm, musically speaking. And in this album so far, I don't feel that. Like I don't feel like in Calm, I can hear the first minute of a song and I know where the rest of the song is going to go. And I love Calm. It's not like a bad thing. I love those songs, but I don't feel like I'm going to get any more surprises like the songs start. Lover of Mine, Red Desert, like Best Years, like these songs start. I love these songs. Don't get me wrong. This is different. I don't know where these songs are going, and I mean that in the best way. So I guess that's what I mean. And that's a first for Five Sauce, it feels anyway. And that's a really good feeling listening to this. Me, Myself, and I, which was a single that I didn't listen to somehow, some way. I feel like I have heard a clip here and there just from scrolling through social media and following so much Five Sauce content, and the boys being so proud of what they've accomplished, obviously, and posting stuff. So, but I haven't heard the song in totality, so let's do it.
Oh Lord, all these broke hearts, but mine still won't bleed. And bullshit up in myself, me and my selfish appetite. I did not need your help. Now
wow.
It's just me, myself, and I. Now it's just me, myself, and I. Never knew what I needed. Leave it up to me to fuck it up without a good reason.
Leave it up to me to fuck it up without a good. The way that he just did, the way he just went up there, it's just it's so many really fucking awesome decisions being made in this album so far. What a good start to this. Oh man. 4 fucking songs in and it's this good. It's just me, myself, and 4. You're not gonna do better than that as far as a 4-track run goes to start off an album. They should be so proud of themselves, and I feel like I'm gonna be saying that a few more times before this reaction's done. Let's hear this Joshua Tree version of Take My Hand.
I forgot every birthday. Open eyes right at 23. Always hits me.
This is the extra parts. Oh, it's just gonna be a heavenly outro, isn't it? I actually like that. I actually like that choice to make this the version on the album and just have that extra minute of some additional heavenly feeling instrumentals with that super filtered, bringing that part of the song back to close it out. As it sort of fades away to just add to the sort of profundity of that lyricism in general. Okay, a song I already knew and I already loved, but I just wanted to hear this version, and I'm very happy I did. Carousel, track 6.
I try to keep my head above the ocean of my doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling like a dreamer in the circus. Every time I jump, it's getting higher, never ends.
Wow. Just this could be talking about just their career, maybe dealing with expectations or just goals in general. That's such a good. I feel like a tiger at a circus. Every time I jump up, but the ring is getting higher. You jump up, the tiger jumps up into the ring. That's an accomplishment, right? It's their job. It's what they're supposed to do. But they've done that. The ring goes up even higher. They need to do it again. The lyricism on this album is so good so far, and then obviously that tiger thing plays in with Carousel and that circus, the whole scheme. The production on this album is incredible. Hold on. What? What did change? Assuming that is Michael. Where the instrumentation on this album, the guitars, the drums, along with the production, everything is pristine. Okay, let's go to older, track 7. Sierra Deaton. I'm very excited for this one. This one came out recently, and again, I specifically wanted to wait for the album, listen to all of it within itself. So I was a huge fan of Sierra Deaton when she was on X Factor, and even following X Factor. She won X Factor, and she won. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she won. She won X Factor, and obviously like as a duo. And moving beyond X Factor, I was looking for music. I was downloading. The Little Do You Know is like it's like a jam that I really like listen to this day. Say Something. I love her voice. I think her tone is so good. I saw her post, and I didn't even know that she was with Luke until Luke's album came out. And then I obviously like learned everything I could about Luke's album because it was my favorite album that came out again last year. And I saw that she was a credited songwriter on the album, and then I ended up learning like her and Luke Hemmings are in a relationship, and that's just even more amazing. But yeah, for her to be I read a post about her not being an active artist anymore, but she still does behind the scenes stuff. Obviously she was involved in songwriting on Luke's album, and she's done some other songwriting for other artists I saw too. And obviously here with Five Sauce, she's actually, I assume she's singing on this. So yeah, I'm really excited to listen to this and revisit some Sierra along with Five Sauce. It's gonna be a big deal too for Luke to have her on the album here, and just like a really just beautiful feeling for the both of them.
The promises roll off your breath in your cocaine colored wedding dress.
You could have said white wedding dress. You could have said white wedding dress, but I dig it. I dig it.
Colored wedding dress.
Romance.
Devoted, delicate.
Oh man.
It's not worth it if I lose my one-way ticket for two. Just me, just you. I don't wanna get older.
Whoa.
Ticket for two. It's not worth it if I lose my one-way ticket for two. Just me, just you.
It's not worth it if I lose my one-way ticket for two. Is this song about is this song about is this song about the potential of losing someone, like, and trying to live without them, and I don't want to get older? Is it even deeper? Is it more up? Is it about someone dying and passing and you having to live without them, and just the thought of that? And again, this is coming from two people that are so young, but at the same time, it's life is so precious, and we learn that more and more every single day, obviously, with the insanity that goes on in this world. So man, that just that shot right through me.
Your kid smile, it says it all. Mixed with my sad and cynical. Tragedy at the end.
I wonder which one of them is which. I love the choice as well to have Luke stick to that lower register for the entire song. It kind of gives off this, because we know what Luke can do vocally, and we've heard him sing like that before, but not for like an entire song, I feel like. And then also I feel like, especially in a duet, it gives this feel of sort of selflessness, you know. No one's trying to out-sing the other. They're both singing with this tone of there's this sort of sadness in it, where if you know, like, if you were to lose this other person, then you would just immediately break. You'd be bleeding love. Is that the lyric? Leona Lewis. Yeah, that's a beautiful duet. I didn't hear any other voices in that song, but I don't really think that song would have required any other voices, considering its context and the singers in it. So let's go to track 8. It's Haze.
When I moved to California, when I lived between the bars, when I didn't even know you.
Wow.
When I was giving up, Ventura was a ghost town. The city broke my heart.
Hold on. Tons of California references in this album. But again, it makes perfect sense. It's where they've been living. It's where they recorded the album. So I'm glad for that. Ironically, the way the vocals sound here, I know the group is, or I know at least Callum is friends with Jaguar Twin. They sound like Jaguar Twin a little bit vocally, just right there. And there's the hell of a ride, hell of a night. Hell of a ride. Okay. I think something clicked at the end there. Because it feels like the song might be talking about feeling more like yourself, or just having a comfort with a certain someone anyway around. Just being in the presence of somebody makes things feel right. And then again, it gives me that feel of driving. And that's been a theme with a few songs on here that I feel like are just meant to be driven to. I actually think that I said that about Calm. And I can't fathom that I didn't say that about Calm, because Calm to me is like such a great driving album. This one I think takes that up a whole notch because of, again, just the difference and the risks, quote unquote, with the instrumentation and arrangement of the songs. But that song, I didn't know how to feel about it as it was going, but then it's got so many changes. It's got that middle part. It's got this funky vocal in that middle part where it's like sort of more a quicker delivery that I've never heard from the boys once again. And as I start to sort of understand more what the song might be about at the end, it starts to come together more because it feels good. It feels like a bit of a celebration. It feels like you're coming through, or you're battling through something and reaching like a better place. And I actually really like that. So this song is something I'm going to listen to a couple more times. And I feel like after that, I'm going to be in love with it. I can kind of already tell. You don't go to parties. True. Track 9.
Back where we started, you made me a heartless monster. I'm caught up in distractions, fatal attractions. I'm starting to come under. You know it's 5 a.m.
Is that Ashton? Please tell me. Please let me know, guys. Is that Ashton?
You're spinning up, go stupid every night. What a tragedy. I'm still here in the darkness, back where we started. My limit 'cause I'm dumb and I'm passionate. Took my foot.
Oh my god! I don't even. It's such a unique sound. I love it so much. I love it so much. That guitar overlaying the vocal.
Took my foot above the brake, it's not an accident. All my friends are up on Mars, we've been traveling.
Before this beautiful man starts singing some more in the bridge here, it could be a single, and I would love to see a music video to it, because I can already very much picture that just walking through this messy ass house with all these people just lying around at 5 a.m. after this big, LA, nice ass house, and you're just fixated on hoping that you're looking for this specific person, potential past romance or something that you are hoping is there, even though deep down they're not there, but you have this like truly just evil false hope that they'll be there. But they don't go to parties anymore, so they're not going to be there, but you can't help yourself. I need the music video for that. God, I can't wait to go on a long drive tomorrow. I need to go on a drive with this album. Okay, it's trying to make me play Me, Myself, and I, because it knows I love that song so much. Blender was another song that was released that I didn't hear. Track 10.
I die for you, I die for you, I die for you.
I've heard this part.
I tried for you,
but
I tried for you, I tried. But all I hear is all the things you said in my head, ricocheting off the bed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got enough and left, you got me howling at the moon.
You hear that fucking bass, Callum? I hear you on that.
I die for you.
I love this part right here. This song is the only song so far that is the most reminiscent of a 5 Sauce that I've heard before 5 Sauce 5. But at the same time, it still had, like, this part right here, it still got part elements in it that make it feel like this new era, and I appreciate that, along with feeling some sort of nostalgia. Like, this song makes me feel nostalgic because it's reminding me of a previous 5 Sauce, but in like a really good way. It went by so fast. It's a fun song, and again, it just reminds me of old school 5 Sauce. Not old school, but just like before 5 Sauce 5 Sauce, in a good way. Carousel. I like the title of that. Track 11.
Run to the east, gotta leave
Okay, Harry Styles. Holy shit. Oh my god. Wow, I wasn't ready for such a... Literally feels like I'm listening to Harry's House on there. Wow, that fucked my mind up for a second. We're listening to Five Sauce. Bev, reassess.
Run to the east, gotta leave, I need a way out. And you and I've been where we started, I don't wanna let it fade away. It used to be easy, now you can't even look me in the eye. A visceral feeling,
Wow.
that I can never leave behind. And it's under my skin, but I can't reach it.
Holy fuck! What is going on in this whole
I know
album?
it well, caramel, I feel the come down. I know it well, caramel, I feel the come down. I know it well, caramel, I feel the come down.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you and I've been where we started. I don't wanna let it fade away. It used to be easy,
Bro, is there
you can't even look me in the eye.
is there crack in this song? That's the cocaine from Older. The cocaine in Older that was referenced, even though it's only referenced as a color, was taken and put into caramel. It's caramel flavored cocaine. Because disclaimer, I've never done cocaine, and don't do cocaine if you're watching this. I'm not suggesting it. It is simply a metaphor for the fact that that song felt like I was on drugs in the best way. There's drugs in the song is what I'm trying to say. I'm under the influence of this song, Caramel. That is an incredible song. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what exactly I love so much about it. It is such a weird fucking song in the best way. There's so many redeeming qualities about that song. No, there's so many tracks on here. I can't play it again. I don't think I've ever wanted to just replay a song right after I listen to it as much as I do now. Just for the simple fact that I want to hear it again, experience it again, and then give thoughts on it, because so much of it feels like it can't be narrowed down into words, particularly because a lot of them are just escaping me because of what the song did to me. Caramel is special. I hope I'm not alone on that. Best Friends, track 12. Wow, this album is crazy. Best Friends, track 12. We have 4 best friends on an album where I know that their friendship was at the highest of value. It was the thing that was emphasized the most. So I would imagine that this song might have something to do with all of them. Let's see.
I got the best friends in this place, and I'm holding on. Love is like a poem written on a bathroom wall, a decorated list of all the things you felt before. It's not a perfect narrative, there's beauty and mistakes. It's time to love somebody who won't try to change your way. But baby, I don't wanna wait for.
Hold on. I don't. That chorus made me emotional, and it's just. There's something in the sound of this album that you can feel. I guess it's just knowing that they're so involved, that this is them. You know, this is them writing, this is them producing, that their hands are all on this album. Also, the way Michael just the fact that chorus is followed by Michael just coming in like that and sounding so good and giving me some poetry and talking about analogies and referencing, like somehow making a bathroom sound beautiful in terms of its relation to friendship. That chorus just did something to me. It did something to me where I found myself wanting to be in a car with my best friends and blast this song and then have that chorus and just make sure that we all are on the same page with how much we love each other. Okay, let's Let's take it back to Michael here.
Love is like a poem written on a bathroom wall.
The vocals on this album, man. Say they tour. I know they did a tour already, and I'm sure they're gonna want to tour again at some point, just because they've got a 19-track album to get out there and tour. Now, this is like one of those songs that's gonna be such an essential must play on the tour song. It'd be unacceptable to not have this song on tour. We talk about everything about it. You talk about the vocals, the vocal moments from individual members, the lyricism, what it means, what the song represents, and then the guitars and the drums and the production once again. Okay, Bleach, track 13.
I feel you underneath my tongue, next to every word that I should have said.
God, you sound so good.
Memories always seem to catch up again.
I love Callum's voice so much.
But enough to a gunfight with the hurt in its own mind.
This song just went somewhere for me. It sounds like we don't want to live without someone. And then there's like a change of appearance if they have to bleach their hair or something. I don't know. And I can't even, the album like I'm listening to it as it just came out, so I don't have access to lyrics. They're not here. Red Line, not Red Desert, track 14.
Someone's hell. How many times did we run from each other?
Oh yeah.
How many times did I walk out the door into the dark when no good for each other? Every hour ticking by, I think about you. I reminisce your memory, and what did I choose? Sentimental comedy, the joke is on you. It's on me too. How many times did we run from each other?
That's beautiful, man. Wow. Yes. So first of all, for whatever reason, it sounded like, for me, it sounded like it was going to transition into like not in the same way. I don't know why, but it just sounded like it was going to blend into that song, which makes no sense, I know. But then it ended up turning into this sound that sounds like nature. Now, I don't know, Red Line, like, what was that, like a train opening or something? It sounds like we're struggling with losing someone again in this song. But a lot of the lyrics in this song, I feel like it's like Bleach, where I didn't fully pick up on the lyrics. It was like hard to tell exactly what was being said at times, and then I just got lost in that chorus. That's the problem with a lot of these choruses, especially on a first listen. And that's why, like, I've said this. Have I ever said this? I don't think I've said this during a reaction. I've definitely said this to people in my own life who will ask me about these videos and whatnot, especially the album reactions. My best reaction is rarely the first listen, which is ironic. You guys always get my first reaction and my pure thoughts in real time, but I often have like a more severe reaction or emotional reaction, or just like a more physical reaction on a second, third, fourth listen in my own time, when I'm picking up on things that I didn't pick up on the first time because I'm hearing a chorus like I just got in Red Line that is so fucking groovy, and I just want to like just live in that chorus. And then when you really get to separate things and listen to second, third time and pick up on things you didn't pick up on before, and it's the classic sort of, you know, sometimes a song becomes your favorite song after like a third or fourth listen, as opposed to some other songs, which happens all the time, probably to everybody, I'm sure, where like down the line you're like, I never thought this would be my favorite song on the album after listening to it for the first time, which also happens to me all the time. So just I say all that just to say that I definitely just got lost in that chorus when it came in, and then after that it was kind of over for me. Mood Swings, interesting title there, track 15.
Cause you don't ever trust this mind of mine. You're watching me lie when I say that I'm fine.
Shout out to Zane, Mind of Mine. Shout out to Michael. Is that Michael and Luke?
Life looking from the outside. I hope you don't mind that I ruined our time.
One thing about the vocals on this album, particularly with Luke, he's doing a lot of different things with his voice on here. He's doing a lot of different things I haven't heard him do before. And I appreciate that. Oh, that voice. What? 5 Sauce dropping a fucking beat? 5 Sauce dropping a beat? What?
Kills me when I try to push you away without you.
For a song that was they're dealing with their own, I guess you can call it demons, but they're very forward with their own faults in this album and how that affects the relationships they're in. And in this song, like their literal mood swings are, you know, something that they're coming forward with, and how they sort of hate that gets in the way of, or that anyone that they're with has to deal with that. But for a song that was so acoustic guitar forward, that song was wildly unique in all the places it went. That beat that dropped, it really threw me off. That was different. I've never heard that from 5 Sauce on again, a song that's led by an acoustic guitar. And then I love that the vocals, when they did come in, were so forward. There's something about that I really enjoyed that feels separate. This song feels so separate from all the other songs in this really unique way, and I appreciate that. God, this album is going to be so good in the car. I know I've said that already, but I'm like almost itching to get done and get into the car and blast this. Okay, Flatline, track 16.
Just to miss you. Oh, I'm falling for the first time. Heart is gonna flatline. Now I can't even look at you. People always say it's hard to change, hard to change. I've seen the signs, I know it's hard to fake, hard to fake. For the first time, heart is gonna flatline. Now I can't even look at you.
This is the only other song besides Blender. So this song, Flatline and Blender, I feel like could have totally existed in the calm era, let's say. And it's just interesting pointing out those couple things and feeling like that's something that sticks out in this album. But again, that's a good thing because you guys know how much I love calm. There's so many, it's just so groovy, the album. It's so groovy that you just don't want to, these songs can keep going. It's like, yeah, this song can keep going and I'll keep finding a way to move to it. Emotions, ironically, track 17.
Talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. Got too many things on my mind.
I think it's only fitting that a song called Emotions can only start out with Mr. Clifford himself. Who has not felt this feeling in the first minute of this song, feeling like they need to change this, that, and that, and that, and that, and that as a result of how someone else has made them feel, and how they just need to get away, go sit in a corner with their own emotions. Don't mind me, I'll be over here.
Cry about it, I don't want to cry about it. I always got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more ways to break. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 brand new mistakes.
Oh, wow. I love the play on the 1, 2, 3 before, and then the 7 ways to change, 5 more ways to break, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new mistakes. Just the clever songwriting here, even though the song is sad as fuck.
Feeling kind of broken, so I'll be here with my emotions.
This song's gonna fuck Caitlyn up. I don't know why that just came to mind right now.
Where did I go wrong? I'm doing my best, and I guess that's the best I can do. So I'll be here with my emotions.
5 Sauce always have to have at least one song. This is the song on this album. I mean, if you really want to unpack it, I feel like older best friends. Yeah, Caramel did. I mean, that's a different story. There's a couple songs in here that can really, hit you in the feels as far as like make you emotional, I guess is what I'm saying. But there's always at least one song on a Five Sauce album that is guaranteed to have their audience specifically, not just everybody, specifically a Five Sauce audience, feel like emotionally broken. Just to have one song that they're going to take and hold as their baby and as their song when we're in, I should be saying where, because I'm very much a part of that. When we're in our just saddest moments. And this is that song on that album. Five Sauce knows what they're doing and they write a song like this, because not only is this such a specific thing that obviously Michael deals with, right? This is something that and I want to see who wrote on this song. I know Michael wrote on this song. There's no way he didn't, obviously, but who else wrote on the song? So it was Callum and Michael, and it's just produced by Michael. So Michael dealing with this obviously knows full and well what the Five Sauce fans deal with as well, and it's a lot of this. It's a lot of these types of feelings, self-doubt and just getting down on yourself and being really hard on yourself and feeling like just dealing with real life emotions. The song is called Emotions. Is what it's all about. It's all about just dealing with your own emotions. Literally, don't mind me. And I feel like it's going to be a song that every fan is just going to be able to have for themselves at a moment that they really need it. And I think that's really important to have on this album. And Five Sauce has made sure to always have at least one song that is exactly just that, and that really just sits in a real place for the fans. And I love that about them so much. Wow, what a moment after so many songs where we're just grooving and I want to drive to and bob my head to and all that. I'm going to be driving thinking about some sad shit when I listen to this song and just really, really go through it. So thanks, guys. Bloodhound reminds me of a certain Ashton Irwin song, track 18.
Bloodhound, I'm picking up the vibes all around. I'm dumb enough to drown it out.
It sounds like that song. I don't know. It's an older song. Why do I even know? I feel like I know a song because like GTA or something like that. Sounds like that song a little bit. I don't know what that song's called though. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, I love the delay. There was an extra delay. Felt very like policey, and I know I mentioned Ashton in the beginning. Ashton just kind of like as a reference to Super Bloom, but I would be shocked if he's not writing on this song specifically. This just feels like Ashton. Well, they all are. Ashton, Callum, Luke, Michael, because of course they all are, because they are just the greatest musicians alive. Okay, we're on to the last track. I enjoyed Bloodhound, by the way. I enjoyed all the places it took me. I love the fact that we got like more Michael on that track, and I feel like we're getting obviously from Calm, which was so Luke heavy, which again very much love, but it's cool to like hear more of the members singing on this album, as well as the fifth member of Five Sauce, Sierra Deaton. So Tears is the last track. I'm sad that we are at the last track, but I'm also happy because I need to listen to this album in my car. Wow. Oh yeah, that we got a little Valentine callback with the way they hit that Alive note. This is another totally different production style for them. This is written Ashton's, man, this has that Ashton feel to it. Ashton's the only writer on this song from the group, and it just makes so much sense, honestly. I can't believe this album is over. First of all, these boys just know how to close an album out. They know how to close an album out so well. This is one of the standouts on an album that already has so many stands out. And on Tears specifically too, there is such a specific, Ashton, these last two tracks specifically have such an Ashton feel to them, and I love recognizing that. I love, not that, Super Bloom, thinking of Greyhound now, Super Bloom is such a specific, it's its own thing. Not to bring that into this, but Ashton as an artist is so impressed me so much that I feel like I hear some of that in this, and I can't help but hear that, and I'm really glad that I hear that and that exists here, or feels like it anyway, because we know that Luke, it's so obvious that there's Luke in here as well, particularly when you get into some of the earlier releases that were cut, and obviously when you get to Older, which is such a personal song, and a lot of the self-doubt, a lot of the regret, and a lot of the inner dialogue, lyricism, and reflective stuff specifically really is so obvious that Luke did a ton of writing on here, as they all did. Again, Michael vocally serving on this album all over the place and producing his ass off this album. And of course we're going to shout out Callum and the vocals from Callum that I did recognize anyway. I probably missed some of them that were Callum on here, but the few that I did pick up on that were him, he sounds amazing. And the bass on this album absolutely crushing. And not only that, when you talk about the production, this is as good as it gets for a Five Sauce album, and that's saying a lot, considering that I know Michael is so involved in the production on this album and pretty much leads the production on this album. And for me to feel like this is their tightest project, but at the same time has so many risks that were taken. And I said this earlier on, risks isn't the best word, but it's the only word I can think of right now, because when you say risks, that feels like it's calculated to make it feel like I'm implying that there was a chance that it could have gone wrong, but it doesn't feel like that was even an option. They're so focused, it feels like there's just a laser focus on making music that is exactly what they want to make, and it's so unique. All these songs follow no specific structure, and Five Sauce is just doing so many different things as the song goes on. You get past the chorus and we're in this totally different sound that we've never heard from these boys before. All these songs have such a different sound that I haven't heard and that I don't recognize from them from previous albums, and that's such a cool thing. Now, there are a couple songs that I pointed out, such as Blender, and another one was I think I already forgot. Was it Red Line? There was two songs specifically. It was Blender and another one, and I can't remember exactly what it was. They are super reminiscent actually of previous Five Sauce music, but the rest of them just totally just this new, I need this album blasted in the car. And this is probably an album where I picked up on a lot of lyrics that I thought were really impressive and just did a lot of things to me, and at the same time there was also a lot of lyrics that I completely just couldn't hone in on, and that's because I was so caught up in the sound of the songs, these great grooves, these amazing choruses, and knowing that we were just going in places that I had no clue where we were going. So I was so fixated on what is coming up next. There's all this production, this new production going on, that there's so many lyrics on this album that I didn't pick up on, and that's I feel like that doesn't happen to me a lot, and I'm kind of happy that happened to me, because it's going to give me so many new things to pick up on a second, third, fourth, 1000th listen, which I'm very much going to, I'm sure, get to at some point. Even with a Calm, which has its own sound, there's still so many songs in that album I feel like that would do so well as singles, and that were potentially written to be singles, or even if they weren't written to be singles, have that sound where it's oh, this would be a great single. I don't feel that with this album. This album has so many songs that I feel like are so anti-single. you know? And I feel like that you have to be most proud of as a group when you accomplish an album that has so many songs that don't feel like they're meant to just be thrown into the mainstream and be like a regurgitated single played over and over and over again. It's just songs for fans and for this band, and yet at the same time, even though they don't have that single sound, to me that's a good thing, because somehow they're still catchy as fuck. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy it exists, because it's an album that I need to listen to for a long time, and I think we're all going to be doing that. So 5 Sauce, congratulations, you guys really did that.